I wanted to make a quick video about WordPress versus Duda. This is Pacific Street Capital, an old WordPress site that I updated to Duda. This is the new site. I think it looks a lot better. So does the customer. So one of the reasons I like Duda is because the sites look great. The other more important part, as important, is the back end. This is the back end of the WordPress, managed WordPress site. One of the things that happened with WordPress, because it's an open source platform, this is something that I did not expect. It is asking me to update the WordPress database. It's complete. The major thing with WordPress is that you have to continually update the plugins, because if the plugins are not updated, it can cause vulnerabilities in your site and allow it to be taken over by an outside source. You can see all the different tabs over here that you would have to know about to actually work on the site, which is why WordPress maintenance people charge between $100 and $200 or more a month to take care of your site. This is the back end of Duda. Very plain, easy to understand tabs, very easy to understand menu. Everything is drag and drop. If I wanted to add more text, I would simply take this and drag it onto the desktop. Of course, I don't want that, so I'm just going to delete it. Menu is very easy to understand. All of the pieces, parts and pieces that you might need to build this site are all drag and drop tools. Very easy interface. Taking a quick look at the settings tab, one of the most important things about Duda is that it makes the SEO really simple to implement. It has everything set up where you can just put in the information for SEO right here, versus on WordPress, you have to figure out how to do all of that yourself. One of the things that's missing here is anything about security, because all of Duda sites are hosted on Amazon Web Services, which means Amazon takes care of all the security. 2 years I've been using Duda platforms. I have never had to worry about security. The sites are never down. I don't have to worry about updating different plugins or whether or not the client or you can break the site. It simply doesn't happen. And even if it did happen, we can just go to the settings and restore from one of the last times we published the site. It does all of that automatically. It saves backups. WordPress, you have to have a plugin that will help you back up your site. And then even if you, here's the plugin right here, which is not activated and needs an update. Again, if you forget to do something like that, it simply might not work for you. Your site will break and you'll have to pay someone a bunch of money to get it fixed. One of the best things about Duda is that they optimize all of their websites to load faster and score higher on Google page speed test. This is the score for the old site. I have it running on a temporary URL right now. This is the mobile score. This is the desktop score, 80 and 37 for mobile. This is for the new site. This is the mobile score, 89. The desktop is 100. One of the reasons how fast your website loads is so important is because what Google is doing, and one of the things they're doing in the future, they're going to start adding this badge to websites that load slowly. And if it has a history of loading slowly, Google will let visitors know with this little badge or symbol. For sites that load fast, they will simply be loaded and it will have a green bar. One of the reasons Duda works so well on mobile is because they started off as a mobile platform. They started off as a company called Duda Mobile. Now most platforms are responsive. You can get WordPress themes that are responsive. But as you can see here, Duda has Duda has made building responsive sites an art form because that's where they started. And so all the things that they do for making sure sites are responsive are just a little bit ahead of the curve for most of the other platforms. So that's very important about the page speed, and why Google is doing it is because they want to make sure that the user has a good experience, and they want to be able to tell users when you click on something, they want to be able to tell users which sites are working well, loading fast, and have been developed in a way that is taking into account the user experience. Duda was built with that in mind. Now, WordPress sites can be sped up. The way to do that would be to add a bunch of different plugins, optimize all of the images. But again, those are the things that Duda has spent time doing with the platform itself. So as the site is built, it already has those capabilities built into it, and it loads faster. It's easier to build, easier for clients to update themselves without paying large fees, and you never have to worry about security. I think it's an awesome platform. Thank you for listening.